What's up, fight fans? This is Coulterpunched with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder and Dave Coldwell. Okay, Dave Coldwell states this. Dave Coldwell states that Wilder's statements are concerning. The wounds have clearly not healed. Okay, Dave, if you guys don't know Dave Coldwell is a veteran trainer and manager, is concerned about the mental state of the former WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. Of course, back in February, Wilder was dropped and stopped by Tyson Fury in 7 rounds, and it was Fury's first career defeat, and he lost the world title that was captured in 2015. Not long after this, after suffering the defeat, Wilder began to issue a variety of controversial reasons to the loss. Initially, he claimed that the ring walk outfit was too heavy and weakened his legs. By the time the contest began, he claimed to have been completely exhausted within a few rounds. Months later, he would make several wild claims, including an allegation that Fury loaded his gloves with egg weights, and he even accused his former co-trainer, Mark Breland, of being a double agent in his spiked water. Coldwell, like many others, was shocked by the statements, and this is what he had to say, quote, "Every excuse in the book and under the sun has been used by Deontay Wilder to try to explain his defeat against Tyson Fury. I get why people have poked fun at his expense because his reasonings are elaborate and far-fetched, but I actually have been quite disturbed and concerned by what Wilder has come up with. He needs someone to put their arms around him because he strikes me as someone who is really struggling," Coldwell told the Daily Mail. He said, "For some people, a loss can completely ruin them because they can't handle it mentally. I've seen it take people down a very, very scary path, and it's worrying to see where Wilder is heading. Everything he has said, all the conspiracies he's talked about, it doesn't come from a stable mindset. I think we can give him the benefit of the doubt when he first claimed he lost because his ring costume was too heavy. That is bad enough, but I think he may have pushed the panic button with that one. But to go on and throw accusations around that his trainer spiked his water and Tyson had hit an egg weight in his gloves, it's concerning. I have met Wilder several times and have always got on with him. We spent 3 weeks together when he was over at Haymaker Gym, and whenever I've been in America, we've spoken and had a good catch-up. He's a really nice bloke, and I fear he is not in the right headspace at the moment. He's had such a long time to process and accept it, but the wounds have clearly not healed." So, Dave Coldwell, he fears his mental state. Now, Dave Coldwell, a lot of people, especially Wilder fanatics, not necessarily Wilder fans, not necessarily Wilder supporters, okay? They're going to say, well, this is like what Lance Pugmire said, and Lance said some things based on what they heard Deontay Wilder said or allegedly said or whatever concerning the costume and this, that, and the other, only to find out that if he was a doctor and he said that, he was under some type of mental stress or whatever. And the truth of the matter is, I think Wilder losing, especially someone for Wilder's not used to that. And I think that it put a toll on him. I think that's why he was silent. But I don't think he was silent in healing. I don't think that. I think he was silent and not saying anything to other people, while at the same time, people were trying to make a case for him. And whenever time you are infatuated with a fighter or you're fanatical about a fighter, you can make any type of reasoning or try to make something stick. And especially if you have an audience that is not educated enough to know the difference between certain things in boxing, the difference between gloves and, so why and how things couldn't happen in certain situations, you can always lead them astray. Okay, so you can have 50,000 dumbass people that don't know the difference between, or don't never even put some gloves on their hands and know the difference between the two. Okay, nobody really knows that. And it's easy to convince them. It doesn't take much because a lot of them are casuals anyway. And the casual fan is the majority of the people that watch boxing. You know what I mean? Those are the ignorant, the people that don't know as much, versus the hardcores and other boxers and people will tell you, like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Even Sean Porter came out and said, no, that can't be. You know what I mean? And based on what we know, I think Wilder has been, I think he's either he's been convinced by people like, hey, yeah, Tyson did this to you. And what it is, I think it's really sad because Wilder is not going to be, if he has some type of mental block or problem or dealings with this shit, because I don't know if that's true or not. The only way we're really going to know if Deontay Wilder, when he steps in the ring and how he will react. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I don't want to hear, though, is because I've already been told that Wilder's fine. He's fine. He said he's blessed. He's been training here and there, off and on. He'll take a break. He'll go back to training. He's waiting for a fight. He's waiting for the mediation. As far as we know, he's fine. Is he around smoking crack, running down the highway some damn where? No. Getting drunk? No. Not that we heard of. You know what I'm saying? Is he beating his girl or significant other up? No, not that we heard of. You know what I'm saying? You would have heard about that. Now, that would be a concern of how he acts out. He ain't doing a John Bones Jones and shit like that. Or a Martin Lawrence. You know what I mean? He's not doing anything like that. So there's no evidence to show that he's that way. But the accusations are off the chain. They are off the chain. But I will say this. The accusations themselves can be a distraction from progress. They can be. Because if he focuses too much on that, regardless if he believes it, I think he believes that. But I also think he didn't know at first, so he had to take time. And while he was quiet, he was being fed a lot of shit. Either some of the stuff that he knew or believed or versus some of the things that people came to him with, like the wild boar meat. That didn't come from Wilder. Okay? The cheating allegations on that behalf. The nandrolone. That didn't come from Wilder. Martin Carefoot. That didn't come from Wilder unless somebody paid Martin Carefoot to do it. Because if we're believing all that other shit, why not believe that? The photograph. Have anybody ever seen the photograph? Has the photographer said, yeah, have they got the photographer? You know what I'm saying? Those type of things come into place where, yeah, that's a real thing. Okay, well, how was the glove? You know what I mean? Wasn't the glove in between his arm and his fucking bicep after he got punched and he grabbed that shot when he got punched to keep that man from punching him again with that same fucking glove? Did that happen? Yes, that happened. So how's a glove supposed to look? You know what I mean? Especially when you're using it to punch somebody in the fucking face again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta look at my hands. My hands are huge. And I'm 6'2". These dudes are 6'7", 6'9". And they're squeezing them into gloves, and then they have to wrap that shit around after they put on the tape gauze. Then they put that, right? And they wrap that into some gloves, and they tape that up. And then the wraps go all the way up here, mind you. So, yeah, it's not too much to be dealing with. But if you don't know gloves, you're going to think, yo, that looks fucked up. You know what I mean? And when you're looking at still shots, if you only have that to use without having the gloves on hand, you don't really have much to go with. However, if you believe the shit or not, how is that going to help him in the next fight with Tyson Fury? He's going to have to learn some shit. He's going to have to learn some techniques. He's going to have to learn how to stay away from those gloves. And my thing about his mental state, though, the more people focus on And that's what I was trying to tell these other channels and inform them. Like, if you care for Wilder, your objective is to support him in a way, not that, hey, Tyson Fury cheated. You guys these guys treat Tyson Fury like he was a cop that shot an unarmed kid or some shit. You know what I mean? And what doesn't make sense to me, and then let me tell you guys again, okay? And this is for the fanatics. This is for the enraged people that claim to support Deontay Wilder. I'm talking to you and you, everyone. Everyone that believes that, everyone that follows that, everyone that's enraged by that. Let me tell you some real shit from the heart, okay? Because I'm 100% real. If you believe Tyson Fury cheated with them fucking gloves, and all you do is sit here and say he cheated, you go to Javon Sugar Hill, you said he cheated and did all this, that, and the other. If you really believe that shit, if you 100% believe that, and you did your homework like the one LDBC cat did, right, that was interviewed with Javon Sugar Hill, why would you keep saying the same shit? Do you want to scare the man from not cheating again? How do you guys think Antonio Margarito was able to cheat like he did? Because he thought people didn't know that he was cheating. But you guys open your big fucking mouths. If Tyson Fury was cheating, he ain't gonna cheat now. He's not going to cheat now. I mean, and then you guys will never know if he was really cheating. It'll just always be something that you believe that you can't prove. You see, the whole gist of the matter is, if a guy is cheating, you want to convince that guy that, no, he's fine. He fought a fair fight. If Wilder was smart, if the motherfucker was smart, he would have said this. Nah, I don't believe he cheated at all. May the best man win. Not, oh, no, I think he cheated. That's dumb. You're blowing your fucking cover. If you think a person cheated, you need to make him think that he did that job fair and square, knowing damn well or believing damn well that he did not. Since he believed he didn't, they'll try to cheat again. And that's when you catch him. But then it makes me think, because I think deeper into shit. Is that really what you think, or is that something that you want to say just to say or have an excuse that you really can't prove at the end of the day? Because if that mediation fails, ooh, you know, it's going to get nasty after that. And I'm going to hate that for Wilder. Why? Because Wilder will now spend time and energy into doing some bullshit that concerns Fury, besides continuing the rest of his heavyweight career like he should have been doing in the first fucking place. He didn't have any business fighting Fury anyway. If he felt that the count was long and he still had the belt and it was a draw, leave that shit be. Wilder is no different at this point than Triple G. Triple G fought Canelo. I think he beat Canelo, right? That wasn't good enough, right? He wanted to fight him again like a moron and knowing damn well the scorecards were off like a motherfucker. Okay, so again, we're looking at guys that try to avoid other fights, that's right, and try to take fights that they thought that were easier and then wind up getting into a fight that they weren't prepared for. And Wilder was not prepared for that version of Tyson Fury. He was bumbling and stumbling all over the place. He admitted himself that the fucking costume was a little heavy. He said that shit. Why do you think people didn't make that up? Yeah, they're going to run with it, but they're going to run with what you say. Like he said, they're going to dissect what I say. Well, Wilder, you have to watch what you say, because the shit that I just read that Dave Caldwell has mentioned, he said that egg weight shit. He didn't have to say all that. And the more you give someone, the more they're going to use that shit against you. And that's the 100% truth of the matter. But again, if you think Tyson Fury cheated, well, shit, you know, why would you want to scare his team into not cheating? You want a Margarito. If these guys trying to compare him to Antonio Margarito, you want to catch him like Naseem Richardson caught Antonio Margarito. But obviously, JD's is no Antonio Margarito. And the thing that gets me about that, guys, is why does no one want to blame JD as? You guys supposed to be pro-black over at the LDBC, but none of you motherfuckers are going after JD as. But you're going to go after Mark Breland and you call yourself pro-black. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. And you will ride with that shit and believe what Wilder, I believe he spiked my water. Yo, but then you see JD's holding the water and feeding it to him. You see JD's with the water in his hand. Look, this is all documented. You can't make this shit up. But you guys don't want to know. Don't touch JD ass. But you guys supposed to be pro-black, though. I doubt it. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dave Coldwell saying what he's saying. He's worried about the mental health of Deontay Wilder. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.